whenever you learn a new scale, it's like, what am I going to do with this? How do I create anything melodic with it? And how do I really get to know it on an inside out level? And today I'm going to share with you a process that I do with any scale I learn. It doesn't matter if it's one of the modes of the major scale, you know, like the Ionian, Locrian, Dorian, whatever. I also do that with diminished scales. I also do that with melodic minor, symmetrical augmented scales, anything that I can, you know, I just do that. And it's not only technical maintenance, it's also fantastic for just like your ears and your fluidity on guitar. So let's do it. Here it is. Let's say we're learning the C major scale, okay? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start showing you different levels of controlling that scale. The first level is just playing that up and down, of course, right? And I'm starting here with the second finger. But something you can do is you can start stacking some thirds and see that you can control some harmonical aspects of the scale. So for example, you can just take that C and E and then D and F and just go. Right? You can also go one going up, the other one coming down. And eventually what you're going to have is something like this. And you know, that's very melodic because then you can come up with phrases like which is basically the scale but with movement. So that's exactly what you're gonna do, right? So you can just come up or come down. And then you can add another third, and then you will have triads. And if you're not sure, like, what you're actually playing, I encourage you to actually figure it out. This is C major, first degree, D minor, second degree, E minor, third degree, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. Those are your 7 degrees. It's exactly like when you're playing those as like triads, like this. Right? So then you do that, and you can also alternate the directions. So that will be this. Okay, this really trains your muscle memory to be able to play melodies and also arpeggiate. And a lot of time when you have changes, right? So you have a bunch of those thirds moving, like the arpeggios. Right, so that really prepares you for that and also give you context of what arpeggios exist within a scale. And I do that in all kinds of scales. You can take it forward from there and start moving, adding more thirds. So you can have, you know, C major 7, D minor 7, and keep going like that. Another thing that it really helps with is just the training your fingers to always go to the right place. I mean, if you're playing C major and then you want to go play D minor 7, so you need to start with your forefinger. And then you see if you're playing E minor 7, you need to kind of train yourself to play with one finger at a time. So this is also fantastic for your left hand. And of course, alternating directions, going up C major 7, down D minor 7, up E minor 7, down F major 7, etc. So now you can also study these on the different positions of that scale, which, I do that very, very deeply. You can practice with me on my website, weissguitar.com, and you can get into all the diatonic workouts there as part of the program, the roadmap on my website. You can check the link in the description if you really want to have the complete roadmap. So, but something you can also do is like take the triads that and do the same kind of thing for them. Just arpeggiate them and add the 7 in there. And kind of teach yourself that this is exactly the same notes that you have here in a position. And then pick a song, right? I'm just gonna go with Confirmation by Charlie Parker. If you don't know that, basically we have an F major 7 and then a 2-5-1, like a E half diminished, A7, D minor. So I'm just gonna take that part of it. Basically, it's not really confirmation, it's just like first degree and then a 2-5 into the relative minor. So I'm just gonna show you exactly the same stuff, but just over these chords. You have this first chord, F major 7, so play the scale, first level. And then start figuring out the diatonic components of that scale, right? The triads, maybe one coming up, the other coming down. Or the diatonic 7 chords. Then the next chord, I basically see this as a G melodic minor, just because this is G minor. So just by staying here in this position, I'm going to play that G melodic minor. Now if you really want to know how melodic minor works, so you can check that out also on my website. There's a melodic minor course in there. But basically I know that this now is going to have a G melodic minor on it, so I'm going to figure it out in that position, and then I'm going to make sure I have all the diatonic aspects of that scale, right? Now when I do that, I try to see it on many different positions on the fretboard, and also maybe just do that on 2 adjacent strings. And then the next chord is A7, so that can be an A dominant diminished. Again, I have a complete course about the diminished. When should you play it? How should you approach it? But basically showing you that no matter what scale I'm using, I'm trying to utilize that awareness, harmonic diatonic awareness to that scale. So same thing, I have dominant diminished. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's all just the triads, and I'm trying to have them on an automatic level. So when it's time to improvise, I mean, I have as much muscle memory going on, so the only thing I really need to think about when I'm actually improvising is the contour, the shape of the phrase, the rhythm of the phrase, the feeling of the phrase. So that's something that is kind of like zooming out and sharing something that has been very helpful for me. I guess it has to do a lot about like with the mindset behind how I practice. And I try to do that with songs that I learn. If I write a song, or if I am working on a certain progression or a standard, I try to have that. That has been part of my maintenance for more than a decade now. And if I'm diving into some newer scales, for example, I've been exploring more of the symmetrical augmented scale lately, so I would do a bunch of those as well with that. And then naturally from there I start seeing more intervals and ideas and motifs that I can start using. So that's just sharing with you a little bit of my journey. If you want to study with me and you want to have my complete roadmap of everything on the fretboard so you can have a pianistic-like intelligence and have flow through changes, so you play through changes and not on changes, and you want to have more confidence when you solo improvise, so you're invited to check out my work on weissguitar.com. For those of you who are more intermediate, there's the more triads, arpeggios, scales, combinations, and then from there, for the more advanced, there's melodic minor, bebop, different soloing, transcriptions. We even meet monthly. And yeah, so lots of fun stuff on weissguitar.com. You're invited to check it out in the link in the description of this video. Hopefully that was a helpful one for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.